Not a lot of fireworks, but that narrows the candidate list for our top player of the game. And the man you see here was a key contributor, so he takes it home in this one.
Hey, multi-hit game, and one of them was a dinger. That's a solid day's work for any hitter, and it had an impact.
And I'm right back. Stupid.
If they answer honestly to please their left, which is go back to court, the country by about 2-1 will repudiate them. On the other hand, if they please the average American by pledging not to back to court, their entire activist base will repudiate them. And that's why you see this dodge and invention. I thought Frank once said it exactly right. And I hope that Trump can pick up on how simple this is. This is an issue which goes to the heart of trust and power, and he can actually force Biden either to say yes, say no, or be on defense for 3 weeks, and that immediately could change the whole election.
Julie, I don't think we've seen a candidate go this far in not answering the question, and the vice presidential nominee. I mean, obviously we saw Speaker Nancy Pelosi say, you'll see what's inside Obamacare after we pass it, specific bills.
Yeah, every cycle, it feels like there's sort of one question for every candidate that lingers for a little while, and they try to dodge, they try to get away without answering it, and then eventually you have to bend to reality, which is that you end up making these questions an even bigger deal by refusing to answer them. You ensure that in every interview, in every gaggle, in every debate, that this is a central topic, and you end up giving it so much more oxygen than if you simply answered the question and then defended it. And so I think it'll be interesting to see if the Biden-Harris ticket reaches that same conclusion. There's only a couple of weeks left, but they are going to get hammered with this question at every opportunity until they just give the American people a straight answer on what their position is.
Jason, the question didn't come up from the moderator last night. It came up from Vice President Pence posed to Kamala Harris, and there was not an answer. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, on the
I think the speaker has it right. There are traps between their base and the popular opinion in the country on unpacking the court. Particularly, didn't go over well for FDR when he wanted to go that route. So there's that precedent as well. As far as the debate, I thought Vice President Pence did a very good job. He had a very strong performance. The problem is I don't think he changed the dynamic of the race. I think Biden and Harris think they are ordered here, and they just need to not screw it up. I don't think that Kamala Harris made any key errors last night that jeopardized the current state of the race. It makes it all more mystifying to me that Trump would like Greg Luskovich step on the story this morning with this announcement about the next debate. I think it is in his interest to be on a stage with Joe Biden one-on-one, and if he got negative for the virus, there's no reason that can't happen. Even if it's virtual, I think he would be making a mistake to pass up a one-on-one appearance with Joe Biden. More than 70 million people turned into that first debate, and that's a big audience, and that is the best way to make this case that he's offering a contrast between himself and where he wants to take the country and where Biden wants to take the country. Biden wants to make this a referendum on President Trump. Let's take a listen to that virtual debate with President Trump.
I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous.
We don't know what the president's going to do. We'll change his mind every second. So for me to comment on that now would be irresponsible. I think that if I'm going to follow the commission's recommendations, he goes off and he's going to have a rally out. I don't know what I'll do. But I think you're going to see a renegotiation of that. I think the president is getting well. He will pass the test. He will be showing negative testing. Are your thoughts? Joe Biden already committed to an ABC town hall that night. Two things. One, I don't think the commission worked very hard to figure this out. I think they just quit. And that is really unfortunate because our country has turned to the commission. They have provided 3 debates at the presidential level, one at the vice presidential generation now. And they have abandoned that public service and setting this up so unilaterally that they didn't try to figure out how to still arrive at 3 good debates. But 2, I think the president doesn't have much leverage here. He needs these debates more than Joe Biden does. So if the second debate doesn't happen, there's really no skin off Joe Biden. In fact, it actually helps Biden. I think the smarter course for the president would have been to say, if I'm COVID positive, I'm not going. No one's COVID positive should show up at work. But if I have no longer the virus, then people need to listen to doctors and listen to science. And my doctor is a Navy commander, a medical doctor. People can listen to him. Then let Joe Biden reject what doctors conclude. That would be a smarter way if I was Donald Trump. Speaker Gingrich, last word here.
Well, I think they'll abolish the debate commission. They changed the rules of the game without asking the president. They didn't involve his team. They stacked all the moderators. The next moderator was actually an intern for Biden and an intern for Teddy Kennedy. Give me a break. If I was Donald Trump, I wouldn't want to go to a virtual debate that they totally control. What he ought to do is offer a John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon debate in a television studio, pace the park 20, 30 feet, go at it, 2 of them. And let's see if Biden turn that down.
All right, panel, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll be back sometime.
I am totally blind. And non-24 can make me show up too early or too late, or make me feel like I'm not really there. Talk to your doctor. Call 844-234-2424. Want to eat better while staying in? Eat fresh. We're here to help with chef cook meals ready in minutes. Skip the shopping, cooking, and cleaning, and get meals delivered fresh, not frozen, right to your door. Build your weekly menu today at freshly.com.
Want to get back to you again? Make it easy on yourself with delicious, nutritious Slim Fast and shed those newfound pounds. How? However you want. With our clinically proven plan, choose from keto, advanced, or original. Use our app. Make it easy. Grab a friend. Make it fun. Let's Slim Fast together. Control your hunger. Control your day. Take your life back. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight and keep it off. Text PNE to 44123. Download the app and start today. How can I help you?
I'll take it number 99. Aaron's way.
Good call.
Sir?
What's Aaron's way? It's when you have a Pepsi and Lay's for $2.99. More like, I get my Ken's way. Adding Lay's and Pepsi for $2.99. Isn't that the same thing? Is it? Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes. It is.
Technically, anyone can add Pepsi and Lay's to their stuff for $2.99, so really it's everyone's way.
Cool. Friends now? Yeah. That's right.
At the end, how will we do it in a time like this? We've been asked that before, and through pandemics and depressions, wars that split a nation and fractured the world. Americans have always found a way to vote and make their voices heard. So stand with the National Council on Election Integrity and help make sure every vote is counted, no matter who you vote for or how. Because while this election may feel different, we all call America home.
Can I help you?
You want to buy a car? Never go to a dealership again. Buy your next car on Vroom.com. Will you sell us your car today?
No.
Never go to a dealership again.
Just sold my car.
Sell your car on Vroom.com.
So who climbs ladders to clean their gutters?
Hannah, I keep telling you it's dangerous.
Climbing ladders is too dangerous. Leaf Filter puts an end to that. So how does it work? Leaf Filter's three-piece system filters out leaves and debris, letting water flow through freely.
Do we need to replace our gutters?
Great question. Leaf Filter can be installed right on top of your existing gutters. We're sold. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or go to getleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate.
I'm astronaut Nicholas, and this is my class on varsity. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Your body is shaking and moving. Feet slowly start to move around you. Now you're in space.
With hundreds of free live classes to choose from, learning from home has never been easier or more fun.
Wait, no, you're not saying no, Mom. Still in class.
Ignite their love for learning with free live classes. Reserve a spot at varsitytutors.com.
It's an important time to save. With Priceline, you can get up to 60% off amazing hotels. And when you get a big deal, you feel like a big deal. Priceline. Every trip is a big deal.
I often check in on my mom, but when I can't, I head to care.com to look for senior care help.
Yes, I can drive her to the doctor. At care.com,
The time is now
secure
7
coverage help
p.m.
for a senior right nearby. Get the senior care help you need. Care.com.
Tonight, Sean Hannity has President Trump on his show. Thanks for inviting us in your home tonight. That's it for this special report. Utah to D.C. Fair, balanced, and unafraid. The story hosted by Mark Miguel, actually in New York. Starts right now.
We're getting around. Thank you, Brett. Good to see you tonight. So, good evening, everybody. We are 26 days away now from this election, and we have the Pence Harris VP debate. A big deal last night. A lot of people watching. That one's in the books right now, but now the drama has turned to next week in Florida. The Commission on Presidential Debates surprising everyone this morning with a call to go virtual for the next face-off between President Trump and Joe Biden 1 week from now, and that was met with this reaction from the candidates.
No, I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous. And then they cut you off whenever they want.
We set the date. I'm sticking with the date. I'm showing up. I'll be there. And in fact, if he shows up fine, if he doesn't, fine.
So this was the co-chairman of the Commission on Presidential Debates last night, urging people to wear masks in the audience.
And if you take your mask off, someone will approach you and ask you to please put your mask back on. If you do not put the mask back on, you will be advised that your ticket is canceled and you will be escorted by law enforcement from the premises.
So Frank Farrakhan joins us now as Trump campaign national press. Hogan Gidley stands by with his reaction. But first, let's go to Frank Farrakhan. Frank, thank you so much for being here tonight. Good to have you with us.
Great to be with you, Mother.
So it was a great debate last night. Very interesting to watch it all up close in the arena. And then this morning, we were all on our way back from Utah and got the news on our phones. Everybody started buzzing that the next one would be virtual. And it turns out that the candidates weren't, that's pretty much how they found out as well. Give us some insight into why that was made, Frank.
Yeah, I will do that. But I think it's important to understand the role of the commission. We've been around for over 30 years, and for 25 of those years, it is the commission that picks the dates, the locations, the format, and the moderators without any consultation with the campaigns and with the candidates. It was created because there were so many problems back in the early 80s as to whether or not debates would ever take place. There could never be agreement. So we look at this thing very, very carefully. And as I've said many, many times in this particular cycle, we're going to be guided by the medicine. We're going to be guided by those people who are advising us. We're not doctors. And as you know, the Cleveland Clinic has been advising us throughout. They went along with this decision. They just too many questions as to whether or not we could present this with many, many people who are going to be present in Miami who would be, vulnerable if they were going to catch something, if we weren't comfortable. So we thought the best thing to do to make sure that the debate continued was to do it virtually. And that's why we came out with it. We came out with it in the early morning hour. We made the decision yesterday, but we didn't want to put it out yesterday or the day before yesterday because it would have taken over the news and therefore what happened with the debate would have been overshadowed.
Yeah, understandable. So explain a little bit about why the people who work on the commission, the crew, those who are in the room, why they were so concerned, and does it go back to the president's diagnosis and what happened in Cleveland?
Not only his diagnosis and what happened in Cleveland, but what's happened in the White House in the last week or so. So many people being having to be tested, have to be quarantined, and so the thought was again we're going to be driven. We're in a coronavirus situation, and we want to make sure that everyone, not only the candidates, not only the audience, but our crew, we have 65 people who work and build these sets and so forth, and in a town hall meeting, we have private citizens who are going to be there. We want to make sure that everyone is safe, and we're going to go the hard way, not take a chance, and that's why we decided if we were going to have this, we had to do it virtually to make sure that everyone was safe.
So you heard President Trump's reaction to that news. He doesn't want to do it that way. And we now just have, while you and I were talking, his doctor has just spoken out, and he says that he believes that the president would be safe to participate by this Saturday. What's your response to that, Frank?
My response is that, certainly he knows where the Cleveland Clinic is. His doctor can work with those doctors, and when we get that certification, then we can go forward. We can't do it without that. But what's happened in the interim is when he said this morning that he wasn't going to do the debate on next Thursday, the net result was the Biden people said, okay, they're not going to do it, and they decided to go elsewhere. So it's created a real difficulty for us whether or not the Miami debate will really take place. But the president said, you don't want that kind of a debate where you're sitting in front of a computer. You're not. The provisions were that they would sit wherever they want to do. The president could do it from the Oval Office. They would be present in front of people. Also with Biden, people there to make sure that he wasn't reading off the teleprompter, that he's answering the questions. So I think the president wasn't perhaps properly briefed by his people as to what we're talking about when we're talking about a virtual debate.
So were there that's interesting. I mean, that obviously leaves the door open to further discussions about this. And the last time, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been done sort of on an honor system. The candidate says, yes, I've been tested and I was negative. So that would all change now, right? It has to be confirmed with both candidates being retested by the Cleveland Clinic. How would that work?
That would be the decision that they're going to tell us what's going to satisfy them and other physicians as to what's going to be the safest thing. Now, there's a new development that just happened, Martha. I heard from someone a few hours ago from the campaign of Mr. Biden saying that Thursday, they got other plans, but the following week, the debate that is set in Nashville on the 22nd, they said they plan to be there. And they will be there.
Baseball under the lights from Progressive Field here in the Buckeye State of Ohio. Tonight, the opener of a 3-game series between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Indians. Indians baseball is next.
In Nashville. Subject again, we would have to be satisfied from the health standpoint.
So that's brand new. I have passed that on to the presidency.
Corey Kluber, the right-hander from Alabama, gets the starting assignment. What do you have for us on him, H?
Man, I like this guy. He is a really good pitcher. An ERA just a little over 3 last season. He's usually pretty tough on the opponent. He's going to keep you in the game and give that manager some opportunities late in the game to get a W. I like what this guy brings, and maybe he'll bring it today.
Hit sharply toward the right side. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit. So it's a good start to the inning for the Rays as their leadoff hitter is aboard.
Hey, check out the lefty as he absolutely jumps on that first pitch and hammers it to right. Got what he was looking for and put a good swing on it.
In is the third baseman, Evan Longoria. He was not much of a factor at the plate during yesterday's win as he took an 0-for-4 line.
Oh boy.
Here's the catcher now, Miguel Montero. Hitless in 4 tries in the ball game yesterday. Montero waits. Now the pitch. Boy, good cutting action to that pitch as that's.
Hogan Skidley. Hogan, thank you very much for being here this evening. So the president's doctor, as you just heard me say, has said that he could participate on Saturday. Would the president, do you believe, and I know you're just hearing this too, be willing to submit to the testing by the Cleveland Clinic to sign off on all of that and fight this possibility of Florida to be next week be back on?
I'm not sure because I haven't spoken with him directly on this. Obviously, the president has the best medical experts in the world in the White House medical unit. They've helped shepherd him through this coronavirus diagnosis. He's in great shape now, as we all know. 24 hours, 36 hours without any symptoms. That's great news. But I have to take issue with a lot of that first segment. Let's be honest, what happened here. I came on your show months ago and had a conversation with you about how the campaign wanted to have debates earlier and more of them because coronavirus prevented both men from being out on the campaign trail in a conventional way, as in a typical campaign year. The commission said, no, we've had these rules in place since the 1980s.
Yeah.
We're not moving. Coronavirus be damned. Now, all of a sudden, after President Trump destroys Joe Biden in a debate, and after Vice President Pence crushes Kamala Harris, the next morning, unilaterally, without calling our campaign for sure, I can't speak on behalf of the Biden campaign, they change the debate just a week before it's supposed to happen. Clearly trying to wipe off the front pages the shellacking Kamala Harris took. Well, this is a partisan group. They can say they're bipartisan. Even the Republican members have come out and said horrible things about this president, and now the curtain's peeled back because we're having a conversation about
the first out of the inning.
Time for a look at the majestic defensive alignment for the Indians. And behind the plate, Yan Gomes. You know, he calls one of the best games in baseball. He's got a great pitching staff to work with. But the thing I like about him, he will throw to different bases, and he can only do that because he's got such good footwork.
Striding in for his first at-bat, Britt McClendon. And he's a guy that's really scuffling at the plate right now.
McClendon.
1-2, here it comes. And he struck him out. Here's the second baseman now, Gordon Beckham. 2's all over the place. 2 on, 2 out, and of course, here in inning number 2. Chopped weakly to the left. Scooped up. On to first, and the Rays are kept off the scoreboard here as the side is retired. Rays strand a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Coming to the plate now, Michael Brantley. He's set to lead off the home half of the second.
Michael Brantley.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Heading out towards shallow right. Eckert on the move, but he won't get to it, and this should put a man in scoring position to start the inning. Around second now, and they still haven't flagged this one down. And the Indians have an early threat here in the inning. It's a leadoff triple.
Yeah, and after that one, it looks like the first run of the game could be coming pretty soon. He got a pitch that he liked, and he roped it to the outfield. Then he showed the speed necessary to make it all the way around to third.
First offering on its way. Carlos Santana.
I gotta go for cigarette.
He's able to take it to whoever stands next to him on that debate stage. He wants more debates, but he wants them to be in person, and he wants the debate commission to, at the very least, have the conversation with the campaign. I understand people were nervous about showing up to that debate and working on behalf of the commission. Then let's have the conversation. You can't unilaterally make these decisions. It absolutely takes two to tango, as Frank just talked about. The problem is the only two folks dancing are the Biden campaign and the commission. They're leaving us off to the side, sitting in a chair.
Well, it's my understanding that the Biden campaign did not know about the virtual decision this morning either, and that, as you said, they put that out after the vice presidential debate last night because they didn't want to distract.
Stands in as he looks at ball one here.
We say we were good know, and we make the rules, and we ask both sides.
1-0 count. Here it is. A breaking ball taken at the knees for strike one.
Masterful job of changing eye levels. A fastball up and in, and then a curveball down and away. It's got him in a little bit of a rocking chair situation. I'm curious what he'll throw here.
Santana waiting on a 1-1. And this ball runs away for ball two. 2-1. Hitters count now. Here's the 2-1. And he'll stay alive here, but just barely as this ball's.
China for spreading COVID-19. You know what reportedly happened in China? They turned off the monitor. He suddenly went dead in China, and the folks there couldn't hear anymore what the vice president had to say. White House Trade Advisor Peter tomorrow is up next.
Digging in for his second at-bat, Stephen Eckert. He'll start things out here against Corey Kluber. He takes it to the opposite field, high and deep to left. But that'll stay in the park as it's off the left field wall. The relay not in time, and he's in there with a double.
So up until this point, they've had to bite and scratch.
Because we are always on the way.
Striding in. Stepping in, Britt McClendon comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He's set. Here's the 2-2. Hit to third. Avila is up with it. Throw in time, and the side is retired. One hit.
In non-24 controls my days and nights out of sync, keeping me from the things I love to do. Talk to your doctor. Call 844-214.
Ready for another chance? Stephen Eckert. He doubled earlier and carries a 2 for 2 line into this appearance. Hit hard towards center. Again, a nice clean base hit. His third of the game.
He really needed this big night to get going. Third hit tonight. He's setting the trend for the rest of this series. I'm curious how they're going to pitch him.
We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today. So who climbs ladder if they clean their gutter?
Digging in and looking for more, Stephen Eckert. He's got 3 hits, including a double to this point. Line to the right side. A dive, but he can't come up with it in right as it skips right past him. Tying run headed home. And a relay home, but not in time. And just like that, this ball game is tied.
I love the late inning at bats when you come up clutch right there. Big hit, tie this game.
Now some movement in the once again, Miguel.
My glasses said, wait, how are you doing this? Focus Factor.
Focus Factor has been clinically shown to improve memory, concentration, and focus. It improves verbal learning and short-term memory.
Trying to pick things up where he left off, Stephen Eckert. And it looks like this could be a critical at-bat in this one.
Well, a glance at my scorebook shows they haven't been able to get him out yet. So this could be a fun at-bat to watch.
And here's ball 4 on the intentional pass as that'll now load the bases here and set up the force at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Evan Longoria is the batter now. Now as he looks at a ball of 1-0.
It holds up to 2,000 hours of your favorite shows.
You waited.
all the seeds.
Digging in once again, Miguel Montero.
Tuned in to you. Frenchie Church has grown since 1865.
Digging.
And our business reach is global.
But the one constant.
The big bet tonight for the Indians belonged to this man, Michael Brantley. Take a snapshot of that. He's our tops player of the game.
And he was locked in at the plate up there. You could really see it in his approach and the swings he put on the ball. Finished with 3 bases.
So we'll have a pinch hitter coming up here with the runner at first and nobody out.
Now batting, catcher, Stephen Eckert.
Hit hard back up the middle. A dive, and he knocks it down. But they will not get it out on the play as he beats the throw to first, and there are 2 on to start the...
Frenchie Church has served the Wooten family.
Second and the go-ahead.
The home and hundreds of drivers, but we never lost sight of what's important.
Because it's not just the politics.
It's the people.
It's the people.
It's the people.
Find out for yourself at FrenchyChurch.com.